Why does every guy cheat on you? Trust me, I know. How come girls always call you their friend? I can tell you. We'll talk about your strengths and we'll talk about emotions. Secrets of Birthdays, now live for purchase. Check out yours at secretsofbirthdays.com. So garden. Hello, Lunar Child, and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Update. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Witecki, your host to the universe. I'm also the host of our little community on the internet, about 10,000 plus, called soulgarden.me. Come on down, we got something called Fun Day Sundays now, where I release the horoscopes early in the morning, and we've got some new programming coming out that'll come out all day. But right now, horoscopes in the morning of Sundays for all those who are members, little sprouts of soulgarden.me. For those of you who are not members and don't want to come down, no worries, I'll actually be on time now with YouTube on Mondays. Now, I got a couple announcements. For those of you who have not been able to get the GA service because you're in a different country or because your cell phone is disposable, well, we now have it available in email. So if you want 5 to 7 emails a day written by me, I do write these, by the way, not a computer. I write these all night long. Then you can come on down, come to gatext.me for details on that. And if you're interested in some long-term creativity, try the Artist's Way with Nikki Bright. She'll be doing a book-guided tour of the Artist's Way. So you have to buy the book, and then you go to show up in a webcam class, and we all talk about this book. And it's a phenomenal book. I don't know if you ever read it. I didn't finish it. That's why I think this is a great idea. Check it out. It's at soulmart.me as well. Well, we are in the Sun in Libra, which means Cancers are working on what the most important thing in life is for them: their home, their family, and their self-nurturing. This is a 2.5-year transit that Cancers have been working on redefining home and family. It starts with releasing from your own family stuff and your childhood. It moves into your ability to pay attention to your own emotions and put yours first over someone else's. These are emotions, self-nurturing, and that turns into security. Security is when you know you can feel better because you said so, because you did it. So we are in the transition in this next week of graduating or not graduating this 2.5-year lesson. If you're watching Soul Garden, you're probably going to graduate because knowing is half the battle. Excuse me, wrong button. So we start off on Sunday. Remember, it's Fun Day Sundays. Saturn rules a day. So it's sunny and legacy focused. The moon is in Aries, and so you're emotionally really focused on career, legacy, where things are going. But it's time to decide what you won't do anymore to yourself or what you won't allow yourself to get into. You're basically making a decision to either take care of yourself or not. So whatever you're forced with in a fork in the road on Sunday, what's behind it is, am I going to take care of myself first or am I going to take care of someone else first? That's the two questions. And I hope you pick yourself first because then there's plenty to go around. Now the planets are really busy. Let's just take a look. First of all, there is a Bermuda Triangle going on. Now, there was a full moon on Saturday when I was on my hiatus, and that full moon for you was a tug-of-war between what you want to get pulled off, what you want to pull off in your career legacy, and do you have the emotion to do it? Can you get there? Can you take care of yourself? Will your family fall apart? So it's success versus taking care of yourself. That was the full moon. We come back on Sunday, it moves into this Bermuda Triangle where on one side you've got this pull for your career. That's the emotions of your career. The sun, there's the emotions to your family. What makes a difference? Moving forward with your relationship attitude. With marriages and relationship attitudes moving forward, the relationship attitude will actually shift the basis of work versus family. And it might be your relationships with the people at work and your relationships with your family that are holding it up. So look at relationships as an option. Also, this trine says that as you innovate your career and legacy, or innovate the way you decide and what criteria goes into decision making, career otherwise, you're going to find immediately your self-esteem rise. So get over the indecision. Innovate career, innovate decisions. Decisions should be based right now on taking care of yourself and heart-based decisions. All right. So if it's for money or anything else, that might be part of the problem. On Monday, it's an action-based day. You are sunny and you are ambitious. I think the moon is off. It's still feeling full. It's still pretty much full. but it's career-based, and you've gotten over the hardest part. So I think you're feeling very ambitious. Mars also rules the day with the moon in Aries, so that's a double whammy of action. And that means it's time to make your move and take care of yourself. So if you decided you're going to leave a house or leave a husband or leave something or stand up for yourself, whatever you decide in the last 9 days, action is necessary on Monday. Get right to it. Waste no time. You're going to see how things shift this week. Now look at the planets. We also have a soul pyramid, which I think is what inspires that action. The moon moves into Taurus, so emotions start to shift into your feeling of where you belong. And Venus is saying to you what you're worth. So you know where you belong, you know what you're worth. What does that do? That's what inspires you to change those relationships or marriage. So moving ahead with relationships is so key, but what inspires you to do it is this soul pyramid. On the other hand, the climax comes to a head on Monday between your feelings about career and whether or not you can make it through it, whether or not you'll be secure, whether or not you're secure to be okay. So it's career versus security, future versus security, and this is something you must resolve within yourself, okay? Your career is going to always change. Your security, you should have learned how to take care of yourself after the last 2.5 years with Saturn and Libra, and I think if you're having problems with security, that's a big, big mayday for you coming up, and you'll see why. On Tuesday, we squat and hold space. So whatever security you made, if you gave notice to your landlord, if you drew lines with yourself, if you decided to go on a diet, whatever it is that represents self-nurturing, just sit on it. Mother Earth rules the day. By squatting, it's going to turn into a reality, but it's important that you do squat. And the moon moves into the house of society or social world, so your feelings are with friends. Maybe it's a social day. Your friends would help you out on this day if you needed help. Looking deeper in the planets, Mars is important because Mars has been pushing all this month and for longer for you to move forward with what your heart wants, okay? So one thing is for certain on this day, Tuesday, you're supposed to get what your heart wants. And Mars says, act on what your heart wants on Tuesday. If it feels right and your gut says yes, so act on it. And secondly, the moon in Taurus. Cancers know where they feel they belong. And there's an opposition between Mars and the moon on this day, between what your inner child wants and where you feel you belong. You belong near what you love, okay? So move forward with what you love, and you will feel like you belong. That is the key essence to Tuesday. Then Wednesday is really weird because Chiron rules the day, and we're beginning to shift reality. You're going to see sunny with a chance of anxiety. Now, Chiron means the universe is trying to bring us into integrity, which means that we'll be anywhere there's non-integrity, we'll be exposed. That's how the universe does it. They kind of give you a little bit of the universe gives us some turbulence. Looking at the planets, there's a grand square, a double opposition, which is why we're feeling pulled. Literally, we're being pulled in 4 directions. That's literally what happens. So you really don't get much done on a day like this. But what's important is for you to understand the balances going on. The moon in Taurus is your feelings about where you belong. Mars is that part of you that's pushing forward with what your heart wants. Whether it's creative, whether it's a love relationship, whether it's more children or a child for the first time. Neptune is your feeling of what you believe. It's at 0 degrees Pisces. Venus is at 0 degrees Virgo. So literally it's belief versus attitude, your feelings of where you belong versus your heart. All these 4 are pulling on you, keeping you in one space. The lesson really, I think, is the sun. With things going nowhere, there's a chance of anxiety. Your whole lesson is how will you take care of yourself? This is clearly a day where you're going to have to take care of yourself, and I think that's what the universe is setting up here. And it's also forcing you to balance in those 4 areas. So Wednesday, a frustrating day. Nothing gets done except that inner confidence that you can survive if you were trapped under rubble, right? Then Thursday. Thursday is interesting. Now things really heat up. Sunny and quite popular, but only for a portion of the day. The moon wraps up in the highest vibrations of Taurus, so I think you're really feeling your place in the world and feeling good about it. Now Jupiter's ruling the day, which means we're going to expand. In your case, expanding and understanding what you need to feel secure, that self-nurturing, the whole same thing. But what's peculiar is Jupiter is retrograde. That means the expansive energy goes offline. Jupiter retrograde. It has been direct in Gemini. Now, this Jupiter in Gemini has been pushing you to grow and have greater faith. all right? So the universe is not going to put bigger obstacles on you. The universe now is going to take away the propping to push to grow and leave you with your current obstacles and no optimism or no false optimism. Jupiter, all right? Jupiter gives us false optimism, which gets us through the crazy stuff, and we're like, oh, wow, look at how high I climbed. Unfortunately, Jupiter is now pulling out, which means don't look down. It is time to hold your faith. This is the beginning of the universe pulling out and really testing you on your ability to self-nurture. Let's look deeper at the planets. Oh, no, let's not. We're there. Let's then go to the next step, which is Friday. Now, Friday is a Freaky Friday, and I'm just putting it out there, do not operate heavy machinery. Do not do anything crazy this weekend. If you're going on a wacky trip, I don't like that idea. That's because we got too much weird shifting going on. It starts with Freaky Friday. Uranus rules the day on Friday. That means there will be breakdown. Breakdown in your home, family, or emotional security. Not to mention the moon is way up in your inner higher self, needing faith. So you're really kind of whacked out. Cloudy chance of storms is my official prediction. Now, adding to the fire, the moon actually crosses Jupiter. So that, remember I said yesterday, the faith stops expanding, it's up to you. Well, you feel this vacuum. You feel this vacuum, I think, on the inside, which I think is a setup from God Universe to test your ability to do what? Take care of yourself. That vacuum trines right into the lesson of self-nurturing. Then Saturn itself leaves Libra. Saturn now is in the house of Scorpio at 0 degrees. So Jupiter is retrograde and offline. Saturn is our decisive energy. It's offline. Mercury at 0 degrees is offline. And Neptune in Pisces is offline, retrograde 0 degrees. Then get more offline than that. Neptune in Pisces is our intuition. So basically, on Freaky Friday, God Universe takes away intuition, optimism, hope, faith, our thoughts, our decisive ability, and our intuition with Neptune. I think I said that twice. Now, I don't think this is a doomsday. I think what this is God pushing you out in the ice. Let's see how well you can self-nurture. That's the beginning of Freaky Friday. Then comes Saturday. Oops, I lost my Friday. Saturday. What I call a real-time reality crossing. I think between Friday and Sunday, people's lives will change for a decade. I just think it's going to. You may recognize it, you may not. But I think this is the magical weekend, as will be in the Act 4 videos, among many weekends to follow after this one, but this is the most powerful of Act 4. We're technically in Act 4 right now. Now, it really all happens due to the nature of all those planets offline and some extra bonuses. For one, a soul pyramid in water. Why is this important? Well, water is the master shui. That's the element where we all master. You master water, you get to graduate usually the planet. This master shui pulls the moon into Cancer. So you do get all of a sudden this ego boost as the moon moves into your own sign. So you get this ego boost, you start to feel strong, you start to feel confident, which trines into your faith in yourself, which trines into your inner child with Saturn. So your hopes, dreams, beliefs, and ego just pop online out of nowhere after all that agony. This is the universe catching you in a current of passion and self-love. I think this is part of the shui. Then Venus moves to 4 degrees, which is a crazy degree to happen in Virgo. So that is a literal shift of mind. You change your mind. You have a mental breakdown for a second, but it doesn't go far because you already cleaned out your Virgo. Then you're forced to balance your ego with relationships. This basically is like a chiropractor squeezing or twisting a head energetically. And if you go with your feelings, which you will because you're a Cancer, you will just have reality shift around you. That's what I think is going to happen. What you want to hold on to is that part of you that knows how to self-nurture. That's the test. As reality is spinning, as you are pulling off and squaring off with relationships, you are really elevating. I think what happens is this is the elevator for ascension. And if you are watching the world and on the outside of the carousel being swung, those are the people not graduating this. If you can get to the middle of the spinning and be in total zen, you have graduated. And I think it all goes down on this day. Then Sunday, God puts a cherry on top. First of all, sunny and cool, maybe partly cloudy, depending on the Cancer. Venus rules the day. The moon's in your sign. You just had reality shift around you. It's kind of a cool day. But guess what? A yod. God shows up and gives us the finger in the final day using the energy that was just created 2 days ago. Saturn conjunct Mercury. Saturn in Scorpio now, not online, but still there waiting. It's potential kinetic energy, spiritual kinetic energy. And the focus of your inner child and the hope and promise. 0 means anything can happen, right? The hope and promise of your inner child. Venus in Virgo, the new attitude that won't slip, pointing to what? Career, that's right, career. Sorry, I've had that sign up too long. You will be innovating your legacy. Basically what changes is your legacy. So on Sunday, I think you're feeling sunny and cool. I think you're feeling your life going in a direction. I think we just experienced a holy shift. But you'll have to write me and tell me, Cancer. I don't know. This is some crazy stuff. I haven't seen this stuff since 2005. All right, that's all I have for your 7-day forecast. Good luck with all that. Don't forget we've got GA, emails, all sorts of abundant help. Until next week, live, love, be.